Saluton kaj bonvenon. Mi estas Becky de It Simple Esperanto. Today I'm going to review this book. It's called, as you just saw, Esperanto. It's a Teach Yourself book by John Cresswell and John Hartley, and it promises to be a complete course for beginners and students, and I'm going to agree with it. What's the book like? There are 16 chapters in the book. Each chapter has a series of grammar points, then a reading exercise, usually based on a newspaper segment like the weather or the women's page, for example. Then after that, there are 2 exercises. Part A is a series of questions written in Esperanto, and the idea is you read those questions out loud and then answer them. If you don't know what the questions mean, you can always look in the index. All of the translations are in the index. Part B are a series of questions written in English. So the idea is you translate those questions to Esperanto and then answer them in Esperanto. Now, of course, this is a book. The downside of any book is that you don't get any feedback. But apart from that very obvious downside, I would say this is a really good book. Obviously, I am a beginner of Esperanto, but I have looked at quite a few courses. I've finished a few of them, and this seems to be very complete. This seems to have all the odd little grammar points that a lot of the shorter, the smaller courses don't seem to cover. I believe that apart from the lack of practice and listening and the lack of feedback that you get, I believe by studying from this book you can learn Esperanto very quickly. Now, one thing I like about the book, just because I'm me, but some people wouldn't like, is that it is very old-fashioned. This particular book was written, well, no, this particular one was printed in 1977. So it's over 40 years old, and in fact, I think it was written possibly in the 60s. First impression, 1957. So it really is quite old. But the great thing about Esperanto is it doesn't evolve that much in the same way that other natural languages do, because there are set rules, there are specific rules that we need to follow in Esperanto. So the rules from 1957 are still exactly the same now. It also has a full list of all of the vocabulary used in the reading exercises, which is really useful. The end of each chapter has a list of the new vocabulary for that reading section, but the back of the book has a complete vocabulary list. I also really love the first page of the index is further study, and it says, having been through this book, you will be ready to conquer new worlds. In particular, you will wish to do some reading. There are hundreds of books in and on Esperanto, and a complete list of those normally stocked can be obtained from the British Esperanto Association, Inc. And then it gives its postal address. I haven't seen a postal address like that for years. Everything's email or go to this website, so I think that's kind of cute. The next page, very usefully, is a list of the correlatives, which I've already done a review on another book which goes into way more depth on the correlatives, but this is a really nice quick reference to have. The next page is the table of affixes. This is so useful. I really struggle at the moment with the affixes. I've got some of the more common, more basic ones in here, but there's a lot, so I just can't remember them all. So I'm definitely going to be using this book and referring to the list of affixes. The next part of the appendix has Zamenhof's 16 rules for the grammar of Esperanto. For those of you who don't know, it's said that the rules of Esperanto are only 16 in number, and this book lists them all. And right at the back of the book is my favourite page. It's an advert for the Esperanto Holidays Association. Now, anyone who knows me knows that I love travelling, and I would just love to take an Esperanto holiday, to be honest with you. Esperanto Holidays Association arranges package tours to international Esperanto holidays in Bulgaria, Denmark, France, Hungary, Italy, Poland, etc, etc. Now, I was so intrigued when I saw this. I went to Google and of course I had a look for the Esperanto Holidays Association. I couldn't find it. So I'm really interested. If you know about any Esperanto holiday associations, tell me in the comments. I want to go on an Esperanto holiday. Yes, I've heard of Passaporta Servo, but I've not looked into that yet. I want to go on a package Esperanto holiday, so let me know if you know of any tour companies that offer that. So in short, this book, Esperanto, Teach Yourself Esperanto, excellent. Old-fashioned, yes, but I believe as a beginner, I can't be sure, but I believe it does teach you all of the rules. It assumes that you don't know anything about grammar beforehand, you don't understand words like verbs and adjectives and adverbs, etc. So it tells you from the beginning what all these things are, just explains them as it goes along. Yeah, I recommend it. Old book, but if you don't mind reading, if you don't mind just simple line drawings instead of beautiful colour photographs, try and get yourself a copy of this book. I got it off Amazon, I think it was about £4 or something. £4 well spent. The price, the original price is on the back, is listed as 95 pence, so whoever sold this made profit. So there you go. Teach Yourself Esperanto. If you're learning Esperanto, I can recommend this book as long as you don't need that feedback that you get from interactive programs, apps, etc. All those things that we're used to in this modern internet age. But this is fab. This is a really nice little reference book and I'm going to keep it. Now, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. At the minute, I'm learning Esperanto. I'm reviewing various resources. So if you want to learn as well, don't forget to subscribe and you'll be seeing videos every week which will review the Esperanto resources that I come across. If you know of any Esperanto resources that you want me to review, just write them down in the comments. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.